Thank you very much for tuning in at the African Center for Community and Development. I am Ivo, and welcome to my poetry corner from the farmyard. Today I shall be reading to you my poem titled Explaining Some Stories. Since Shakespeare died, there has been no new rules for Claudius and Iago. So they become dissatisfied with their stay in Sage County literary world, borrowing Neptune's coach, pulled by Camargue's horses, onto the earth's ionosphere they settle, spunk by Mischief Wind, blowing across ionosphere they become mischievous literary spirits. They fooled von Papen to convince Hindenburg, and Hitler rose to power. They incited Idi Amin to think he was greater than Frederick the Great, and Uganda bled seas of blood. Fraudulently, they copy the seal of court, convince Mobutu he will never die, and Congo was a mess of skeletons. They, however, did one good thing to inspire Ola Rotimi, replacing Oedipus Rex with his Odewale saga as the poetry book of Jesus. Sometimes the gods are to be blamed. Thank you very much for tuning in at the African Center for Community and Development. And in this poem, you realize there's a lot of literary figures in it. It's also transboundary, and we see that sometimes our earthly happenings are influenced from outside, and even when they are influenced from supernormal beings or literary spirits and so on, they always have some message that we can gather from the mythology, from the figures of speeches that we see within poetry and so on. And in this case, we believe that because Iago and Claudius did not have any rules after Shakespeare died, they became dissatisfied staying at the literary world, and so they decided to come to the earth's ionosphere, where they were influenced by Mischief Wind to become literary spirits. And in that, they did a couple of things that affected humanity, including the rise of Hitler, the rise of Idi Amin, as well as what we faced in Congo. And also, we come to the end of the poem with some little happiness, in that there is praise for Olarotimi's "The Gods Are Not to Be Blamed." Whereas there is a dramatic irony at the end of the poem with the lines, "Sometimes the gods are to be blamed." For these things I mentioned can be looked as heresies somewhere. It can be looked as unheard of, but then it's literature, and so it could only happen because we were able to see what happens beyond the death of Shakespeare with Claudius and Iago. Thank you very much for tuning in at my literary corner. This has been Arrey Ivo. Cheers.